What's up, my soldiers? This is Wobbly Honor. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about outprocessing and PCSing in the United States Air Force. So I'm always honest with you guys. I'm always frank and upfront. You know, I'm not a recruiter. I don't bullshit you guys. I don't blow smoke up your you know what. So I'm going to be honest. PCSing is like the worst thing ever. Like the most amount of crap you ever go through in the Air Force is usually PCSing or moving. It's kind of like they made it as stupid and nonsensical. Like so many hoops you got to jump through. It's like so ridiculously complicated, and it's not complicated, it's just stressful and a lot of things that you got to go through. And honestly, if I could like not do that anymore and just stay here in Elmendorf, I would be cool with that. You outprocess a lot in the Air Force. Even if you only stay at one base, anytime you go on a TDY, a deployment, anything like that, you still have to go through the whole outprocessing. Here's why it sucks. When you get your orders and you're excited, you're like, alright, I'm going to Alaska, this is going to be so much fun. Oh, then they hit you with this big long checklist that you have to complete before you can leave. So you're sitting there at your desk, you know, you're looking on your computer because the checklist is online, and you think to yourself, oh, this doesn't look too hard, I'll just get this accomplished over time. Each little box on this checklist has a date that I need to complete it by. I'll just keep up with it. Cool. So when I went to my first checklist, I was like, hey, I want to get this checked off in my processing. They said, when are you leaving? And I said, about 3 months. They said, okay, come back 2 days before you leave. Alright, that's when we'll sign it for you. Have a good day. And I'm like, the list says that it needs to be signed off now. And they said, yeah, no, it's fine. Just come back like 3 days before you leave. The most stressful thing about this checklist is that it's like mostly done the week before you leave, and about half of it's done the day before you leave. Each point on the checklist is a different place you gotta go to. You gotta get this done, get that done, get shots. Each little box on the checklist is just something that you gotta do. So you have to either go to medical, like get your immunizations, you might have to get your dental records, whatever that may be. And you'll just be running around base like a chicken with his head cut off. And that's pretty much how your life will be like the week before you outprocess. Not only do you have to deal with this outprocessing checklist, but you also have to deal with, okay, well, how am I gonna move? Well, where are my plane tickets? How am I gonna get my stuff from point A to point B? Are we packed? You know, my wife and kids, they gotta be ready too. So are they ready? So yeah, it's even more stressful for the people who are married than single people in the dorms. Me in the dorms, I could probably fit everything I own into like 4 suitcases. And trust me, you wanna keep it that way. Alright, let's get down to the meat and potatoes. So, moving in the Air Force, you have 2 options. You can either do a ditty move or you can do a household goods move. A ditty move is a do-it-yourself move. So basically, you're gonna pack up all your stuff. You're going to put it in your truck or your car. If you want to get a U-Haul, you can put it in the U-Haul. And then you're going to drive or catch a train or fly or however you want to transport your stuff and yourself and your family to your next base. The Air Force will pay you for the ditty move, so they'll give you a stipend. If you want to get a U-Haul, you can use that stipend towards the U-Haul. If you want to just use it for gas, you can use it for gas. I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but basically they'll pay you for gas and they'll give you per diem so you have money for a hotel and food for you and your family. Option 2. Option 2 is a household goods move. So household goods is basically the Air Force will hire a moving company to come to your room or to your house, and the moving company will pack up all your stuff for you, take your boxes, put it in their truck, and take it away. It just goes away. And then they pack it all up and it's all good. So it's free, the Air Force pays for it, and when you get to your next base, all your stuff will arrive maybe about 2 to 3 weeks after you get there, depending on how far the bases are from each other. The upside of doing a ditty move is that you get to transport all your stuff with you, so when you get to your base, all your stuff is there. The downside to household goods is that once you get there, you gotta wait like 2 or 3 weeks till your stuff gets there, so you gotta pack enough to last you until your stuff arrives. Now a lot of you are probably gonna be asking me this, well, how do I move from tech school to my first duty base? Okay, well, they don't really have ditty moves in household goods. It doesn't really work the same way. They don't allow household good moves from tech school to your first duty base. Really, you shouldn't need it. Really, in tech school, you should only have enough for 1 duffel bag, 1 suitcase, and a backpack. If you have more than that, then you probably have too much stuff. Pretty much anything that you move from tech school to your first duty base has to be either packed into a car and you're driving to your first duty base, or carried on your back. That's pretty much your only 2 options. If you want to ship your stuff from your own personal funds, that's absolutely fine. You can have your stuff shipped to you at your first duty base from home, or if you have a bunch of stuff at tech school for whatever reason, you can have that shipped from your tech school to your first duty base. So, shipping your car, you have 2 options. You can either drive from base A to base B, or you have option 2, which is to use a VPC, a vehicle processing center. If you want to drive yourself, then the Air Force is going to reimburse you for gas, hotel bills, and food bills. If you choose the VPC, that means you're probably going to be flying from base A to base B. You're going to have your car shipped from base A to base B and meet you at base B. Then you're going to have to use a VPC. God, Okay, VPC is a vehicle processing center, and there are a couple different ones in the country. So this is how VPCs work. You drive your vehicle to the nearest VPC around you, and then you drop it off, and then they take it. Then your car will be shipped, all paid for by the Air Force, by the way, will be shipped from that VPC to wherever base you're going to. The VPCs in the United States are Anchorage, Atlanta, Baltimore, Charleston, Dallas, Fairbanks, Honolulu, Los Angeles, Norfolk, San Diego, and Seattle. Overseas is Italy, Germany, Guam, Turkey, Puerto Rico, Spain, and South Korea. However, South Korea, if you want to have your car shipped over there, I think you have to be a tech sergeant or above. Otherwise, you have to buy a car once you get over there. And I'm not even sure if you are allowed to buy cars there. I think that's only in Japan. I'm not sure on that. Someone quote me down below. Oh wait, no, don't quote me. Someone correct me down below. There you go. So VPCs are pretty simple. Once you get to base B, then you just kind of wait around for about a week or two, and then the VPC, the local area, wherever they drop off your car, they're gonna call you and say, hey, come pick up your car. You pick it up. Good to go. Traveling in the Air Force is pretty simple. I don't think I'm going to make a video about that because it's so simple. If you guys have any questions about PCSing, traveling, or anything else in the Air Force, leave them down in the comment box below. I will see you guys on Saturday. Peace.